this is part 2 of the other 3DS mod that we're doing. In the last one, we installed a USB-C mod, or USB-C ports. We could charge over USB-C through any USB-C wall wart. This time we're continuing what I had planned for the last one. We're going to install Bluetooth adapters so that I can use, ideally, my AirPods with these, or any Bluetooth speaker. We've got a few things here laid out. We've got the Bluetooth adapter right here. We've got a power switch that'll go here, maybe here. None of these locations are final. Power switch, a momentary tact switch to do pairing, and then an LED to let us know that we're connected and such. Simple in components, complex in arrangement. They're laid out where I think they're going to go. I might swap some of these in different places depending on where I go. This one, the actual adapter, will probably stay here because it's completely flat and it fits in almost perfectly, aside from this tiny little chip right here, but some Kapton tape on the bottom is fine. Otherwise, everything else is fair game for being moved. We're going to wire all these up individually, kind of as a proof of concept, and then we will cut the back casing to make room for like the button and the LED and the switch and everything. A lot of things happening to this, and then we should be good. So like I said, simple in theory, complex in things. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to wire up all of the cables that need to go to the adapter. While my soldering iron heats up, I have, this is I believe 28 gauge. So that's what we're going to use. It's the smallest that I have. So I'm hoping that it's thin enough. But you know, we want something thin enough that it'll fit pretty much everywhere around the 3DS without really getting in the way. So I'll link a photo that I used for a wiring diagram, but the basic concept is battery. So it won't always have power because we're gonna have a switch in place, but battery, the switch, which is why I think switch should go here. Switch to board for power. The board has a left and right audio's ground, and then a contact if you want to move the contact button, because there is technically one on the board. So not a whole lot of wires, right? 7 or something in total, and then you have to connect the headphone jack, right? So that's all we're wiring up here. I'm just going to use this wire because it's the smallest that I've got. We're just going to start out getting everything wired up. I'm not measuring wire length just yet. I will fine tune it when we need to. So right switch. The duty test, these would link. That link one is LED. Forgot about that. Now this board is completely all done. Well, the wires run, that's up for next. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we need tact switch. I'm going to deviate a little bit from the wiring diagram that I have for reference. Instead, I think what we're going to do, the way that these work, these are considered double pole, double throw switches. So there's 6 prongs. 3 would be single pole, double throw. Double throw meaning one of them is always connected. Usually the middle one is always connected at all times. So you'll have, we're going to do power flowing in from here, power flowing out. So this will be the on position because it means that these two will be bridged. So power in, power out. When it's off like that, no power going in, no power going out. I think I lied earlier, or I misspoke. The middle prong here will be power in. This rightmost one will be power out. So off position, on position. I always forget, longer leg is positive. So again, we're going to shorten this. Like that. Longer leg is positive. We're going to do a piece of Kapton tape, both because heat and to ground or to protect the wiring. Yeah. Alternative, we could place it here, which would make wiring it a lot easier. would wrap around like this. This way. The wire's bulging. Digitizer. Thought about putting it up here. Definitely a lot of room up here. There's there's no flat place to put it that it wouldn't bulge out anywhere. All right, we have to deal with the battery compartment, so I can't just stick it here, because then this wouldn't sit flush. So basically, to put it pretty much anywhere here. All right, while my hot glue gun warms up, I think we can route out where things are going to go. So switch is going to go up here, glue it in place. This power will go here. Power from the battery will route from here up and around there. We'll put the switch. This needs to be greatly shortened. Switch and LED will go basically here. One thing I didn't really explain from earlier is the reason we're using a switch like this, a sliding switch, rather than just wiring it directly to the battery, is that if we don't have something to turn off the Bluetooth, then the audio will always go to the Bluetooth adapter once it's plugged in. And then we would route this over there for power. So as a quick power test, I actually haven't even tried making sure that all of this works before I did all this. So if we turn this on, if we plug in the battery, which I might have to move these wires, but there's nothing. We turn this on. There's power. And the DS still turns on. Turn this off. And turns off. Perfect. Now we can do everything else. And then we route you. All right, so that's everything wired, effectively marking the electronics done. Let's give it a quick test. I, ironically, don't actually have a Bluetooth speaker. The only thing I have handily is my AirPods. Let's get this powered. I might have to move these cables. We'll see. Turn it on. Okay, if we turn on the Bluetooth, sound has not stopped flowing. Can I at least pair these? That's why it's on the, I see. The original wiring diagram has the audio here going to the power switch. I was like, okay, that makes sense, but I was like, I don't think we need that. Now I understand why we did that. Okay. I gotta make a few changes here. All right, so I did a few things testing wise. I got it working. It's a little janky sounding. I mean, it looks like it's janky. I had a few things I wound up having to troubleshoot. Because my only pair of Bluetooth enabled things right now are my AirPods. I've been testing with these exclusively because I don't have a speaker. These AirPod Pro 2s have volume adjustment on the stem where you can like hold in the back and do this. And at one point I just gripped them, pulled them out of my ear, and I turned the volume down by accident. I didn't realize that they can control volume on something that doesn't have volume control. So I accidentally wound up effectively muting everything, regardless of how much it connected, and it confused me for hours. I eventually figured out that's what it was. Turned the volume back up. It worked. I had sound. But then I ran into an issue of it sounded awful. It just, sound, garble, just gross sound. I tried a bunch of grounding things. I added more grounding cables, wired up grounds in different ways. It didn't really fix it. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it didn't. Cat box is going off. Volume, ground, garbled sound. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. I'd pick out an ear pod, put it in, it would fine, put it in the other one, it would all just die. Don't know what it is. I, for the life of me, couldn't figure it out. I wound up just ordering more of these. I didn't buy them off AliExpress because I wasn't waiting another 16 days for them. So I got them off Amazon and they came within 24 hours or whatever it was. It's actually been like 30 hours. So it worked out. This one works better. I really don't want to solder a third one. I ordered 2 of them. I don't really want to solder it again, and it works. So I'm going to test it here on camera real quick. It'll give me another confidence boost. Once that works, then we can glue everything back in place. I will cut holes in the back half and cut holes here, and we'll be done. So let's test this real quick, see if I can get it on camera. I did try it with and without the antenna as well, and neither of them really worked. So, or the antenna didn't make it any better, I'll say. So, also, there are no instructions for these cheap Bluetooth things. They suck. They work and do what they say they'll do, but they suck. And I gotta figure out why my touchscreen keeps touching it. The case is just terrible. So, let's see. So now they've connected. I'll put in one. I can hear it. See the left one makes sound. All right, it does, and I don't hear any jarbling, so let's turn this up a bit. It definitely distorts, but it tends to work. Okay. I'm going to hope that my camera picked that up. We gotta rewire all of this. So I've had my hot glue gun here warming up. We're gonna grab some Kefton tape. Tape up our solder joints. Our next step now is to cut holes in the back shell. And I don't really know how I'm going to get good footage of this, or if it's entertaining. It's just me drilling holes. But we can line up where things mostly need to go. My plan is holes where they need to be. And then we slot it in with these cables in place, kind of like a book, like that. So we go top down when we fold it back together. To make this easy, because I really don't think I'm going to get any footage of me doing this, I'm going to try and line this up to do my cuts. All right. So using the charging port as our middle ground, I can see that this needs to go here. This needs to go here, and this needs to be there. All right, I will cut those with the Dremel. So like I said, I'm not gonna get any footage of me doing this, but I wanted to show the setup that I'm doing for my drilling because it's just so overly complicated. I have my Wen rotary tool in a drill press or a rotary press. It's a mount, right? I've got the bottom shell in my clamp or my vise that's all sitting on my desk. And when we bring up the speedles, like a drill press, if I can focus that, it just goes right into it and it should cut through. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for the LED and the tack switch that I'm about to do first. For the switch, I'll probably do a really tiny drill bit and do like 3 holes, and then maybe I'll take a file and just, you know, shave it away. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll come back when everything's cut and nice and pretty. Okay, we are finally done. This has been one very tedious mod to do. So we, over the course of this one and the previous part, we installed the USB mod, we installed the Bluetooth adapter onto the headphone jack, along with some custom wiring so that it's more convenient to turn on and off, and put it all in the normal case that you'd have. We cut holes, right? These turned out okay. USB-C turned out pretty well. The LED turned out really nice because it's just a circle. The tack switch for the sync button turned out fine. The hole is the right size. The button's a little short, so I have to use the stylus to press it, but I don't have to use it as long as I use the same headphones. And then the switch over here, not great, but it works. I had to do a few things to debug something that wasn't working with the Bluetooth. You saw me take off the button off of the actual board. I didn't record that at all. Fake it. Originally, when this was all screwed together, if I pushed this at all, it would push the button and it would basically in pairing mode indefinitely. So I took the button off to cut down on the thickness. That still didn't fix it. And what it turned out was that the switch, the hole I cut was not far enough left, so I could turn on the switch and it would kill the volume, the sounds of the headphone jack, because the grounding was connecting, but the voltage connection on the switch wasn't connecting. So it got far enough that it turned off the sound, but didn't turn on the Bluetooth, and it just threw me for a loop because I couldn't see inside. But I widened it a little bit, and it turns out fine. It works, and nobody's really looking at the back here. So that's it. Let's do a quick demo of the Bluetooth to just show that off, and then I can call this one done. Yeah, it's been running low. I will say, if you forget to turn off the Bluetooth, it will drain your battery quite a lot. So I will actually use stylus. Turn this on. Oh, you're dying very fast. Here you go. Enter pairing. It's paired. We put both in. And here is that audio. And if we turn this off, it's back onto the system. So I might have to do some tinkering with that hole to make it like actually easy to use with my hand, or maybe I'll 3D print something that quickly just kind of sits over it, and then a small dab of super glue, and then you have a little sliding switch. I'll come up with that. But this works, and we tested the USB-C in the last one because this kind of had a two-parter. But that is finally done, and I'm gonna go play Pokemon because this has been a very tedious mod. The USB-C one, absolutely recommend. It was super easy to do, aside from just kind of having to do the cutting of the hole if if a file's not really your forte. But it still works, even if the hole's a little sloppy. The Bluetooth mod is a pain. I went through 2 of these adapters because the first one I ordered from AliExpress just would not work consistently. It would sound awful. So I wouldn't recommend, at least if you order from there, buy 2. You could buy 4 for the price that it cost me to buy 1 of the ones off Amazon, and then you have backups and redundancy for it. But it is such a pain. It's just it takes up space, which is fine when it's all back together, but it's thick, so it adds just that bulk of you always have to worry about it accidentally doing something. The wiring is a pain, and while it works, the sound quality is fine. The listing doesn't tell you what version of Bluetooth it is. I can only imagine it's the bare minimum enough to work these days. So the sound quality is fine. Latency is pretty decent, in all honesty. But I just don't think it's worth it, to be honest. For like maybe like $3 in parts, yeah, that's actually a really good deal. But I go spend 5 times the amount of money and get one of these 3.5 to Bluetooth adapters, and then you can use it on planes. It's nice, don't get me wrong. I just don't intend to use it all that often. Like if I'm really in a pinch, I'll, if I'm doing something where I can't have a lot of noise, I'll pull them out and use my AirPods with them. So it's nice to have, but it took me 2.5 days to do this mod between life and this. I don't know if I can entirely recommend it. For $3, yeah, from a purely objective standpoint, $3 for Bluetooth, absolutely. It's just tedious, and it's a pain to work around. So that's all I got on that. I'm going to go charge this up and play some Pokemon and some Majora's Mask. And thanks for watching.